everybody, this is Ella coming to you from Rhode Island. Today I'm very excited to talk to you about oats. Oats are a whole grain. They are naturally gluten-free and they come in a variety of different ways at the store. So you can find things that are like less processed, like rolled oats or steel cut oats, and that takes longer to cook, but they're really good and healthy for you because they have a lower glycemic index. That means the sugar that is naturally in the oats, it's released into the body at a slower rate, which is good for us. And there are other kind of oats that are a little bit more processed, like quick oats, instant oats, or oat flour that we can also use, and that's more processed, which means they're quicker to cook, but they have a higher glycemic index. Oats are very healthy and good for us. They have lots of vitamins and minerals. They're very filling. They have lots of fiber. They help us with weight loss. They help us relieve constipation. So for many reasons, we should include oats in our daily diet. So today I want to show you a couple of different recipes on how I try to introduce oats into my family's diet. And for today, I'm going to use the rolled oats ones, which are the most common oats that when we can think of oats, that's what we think of. So the first recipe that I want to show you guys is my go-to breakfast, and that is just oatmeal porridge. For that, I use half a cup of oats, half a cup of frozen blueberries. You can use any berries you want, but I just prefer frozen blueberries. And then about 1 cup of milk or so, and you can use any kind of plant-based milk you would like. And then all I do to this, I just mix it up a little bit. And then I like to put it in the microwave for a minute and a half, just to make it a little creamier. But if you don't have frozen berries, you do not have to warm it up or microwave it. You can eat it just like that and just add your own fruit or fresh fruit or something to it. But because they're frozen berries, I like to put it in the microwave. And fun fact, Dr. Esselstyn likes to have his oats about a couple of times a day. So we know they're good for you, right? If Dr. Esselstyn has them. So when I take them out of the microwave, they're nice and creamy like this. And I love to have in mind some strawberries, so I like to add that to it. And I like a little crunch, so I put some pecans to it. So that is my to-go-to breakfast, and also a little bit of flaxseed for omega-3s. That's my to-go-to breakfast 5 days out of the 7. The next recipe I want to show you, which is another quick one, is overnight oats. And for that, I like to use my salsa jars. I save them, they're great for this. And all you do is you add half a cup of oats to it, and a tablespoon or so of chia seeds. That's gonna make it nice and creamy. And then a cup of milk. And this is basically your base that you have for your overnight oats. And to this, you can just let it sit in the refrigerator overnight. I'm gonna mix it with a fork. I like mixing with a fork just so I can break down the chia seeds very good, so there's no little lumps of chia together. So just like that, you put it in the refrigerator for a couple hours. I made my other ones in the morning or just overnight. And that's your base. So to that, you can add any nuts, any dried fruits. You can really be creative with it. So what I've done ahead of time, I made a breakfasty one. So I put some raisins into this one, and I'm going to add just some fresh pecans maybe. And now I can just take this to work if I was to go to work in the morning. So it's ready to go. You can eat it just like that. And I made another one, which is more chocolatey. So it's more like a dessert type, right? So I just served it up a little bit over here. So to that, I added some cocoa powder. So I'm gonna add some chocolate chips to it, some nice fresh strawberries, and I can enjoy that just as a dessert. So those are some other ways that you can enjoy your overnight oats. My next recipe is a waffle recipe. This is my kids' favorite breakfast. They actually 8 and 10 now, and they're part of the So Many Kids in the Kitchen as well. And they make this breakfast by themselves, which makes me very excited in the morning. So all you have to do for this is you just put 1 banana. I call it a 1-1-1 recipe. So you just put in 1 banana, and the browner the banana, the sweeter it is. I like to save this for compost. Then you do 1 cup of milk. And to that, I'm going to add 1 cup of oats. That's it. You can add something else like cinnamon, flaxseed, something like that to it, but basically this is the base recipe. You pour this on the blender. You can use any blender you want, by the way, and what you're going to have is this pourable batter that the oats are going to suck up the milk, and it's going to be a little bit thicker side, so you can put this as a pancake on a hot plate, or you can put it in a waffle iron, and what comes out is this beautiful waffle that you can top in again with your favorite toppings. So I have some shredded coconut. Again, my kids love those chocolate chips, so I'm gonna put in there. I love the crunch of the nut. And then as far as the syrup goes, sometimes we do maple syrup directly, but most of the time I like to mix it up. The ratio of 1 to 2, so let's say 2 cups of blueberries, frozen blueberries, with maybe 1 or half a cup of maple syrup. And I just use that as a syrup just to put a little bit more nutritious. And now you have a beautiful maple syrup that has blueberries right in there. It's super sweet, it's delicious, you're not gonna miss anything. All right, my other recipe that I wanted to share with you is burgers. And for this, I'm using Jeff Novick's concept. So what he does is he uses 1 cup of beans, any beans you want. I'm using black beans right now. And sometimes I do this in the food processor just to mush it up a little bit more, but you can just use a fork if you want to mush up your beans, or you can just leave it as is. And to that, I'm going to add half a cup of rice. This is a combination of quinoa and rice, actually, that I'm just going to add brown rice. Half a cup of oats. Any seasonings you want. So I have a combination of garlic, onion, some cumin, but you can really be creative over here and season it up the way you would like to. And then some kind of liquid. So over here I have 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce that I'm going to add to this, but you can use ketchup or something else. Sometimes if I have a nacho sauce left over or something like that, I just use just that. And all you have to do is just mix it up really good until it becomes the consistency that you can make patties out of it. And then you may want to leave it in the refrigerator for about half an hour or so, just so that the oats absorb all the liquid and may they stick together. And then what you have, you broil them for about 10 minutes in the oven, and you have this beautiful, nice patties. And you can also make meatballs, by the way, out of them. And they're nice and sturdy, by the way, so I'm just gonna break it down to show you. So it's not mushy, it's perfect for a burger, or you can just eat it with a dip or something like that, like a hummus dip, just like they are. Very delicious. All right, and the last way that it's common for us to use oats in our family is to make cookies. Now, who doesn't like cookies, right? So for that, I use 2 very ripened bananas. That, again, you can do this in a food processor if you like to, or you can just mush it up with your fork, up to you. And I'm going to add 1 cup of applesauce. This is unsweetened applesauce. And 4 cups of oats that I'm going to put. So again, in a food processor, this is a little bit easier, but that's fine just like that. And then you're going to mix this very, very good. And this is your base recipe, okay? And to this, you can put things like raisins, you can put things like nuts or shredded coconut, things like that. My kids love to put chocolate chips, vegan chocolate chips, of course. You just mix this very good. You make them into cookie shapes, and then you put them in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And then what you have left is this nice, delicious cookies that are nice and chewy and very versatile, so you can, change up the recipe whichever way you want. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I hope you got some ideas from me.